While since I live streamed, Hollywood filmmaker, recovering hobo, greatest screenwriter in the history of the world. Figured I'd change up my routine a little bit. Instead of watching videos when I'm also the light here, it looks brighter than it is. It's all messed up, and trying to get the guy I rent from to tell the property manager to replace the ballast in these fluorescent lights. It's been over a month and hasn't happened yet. So I'm kind of in darkness. And this is not my sweat from today. This is a t-shirt I've worn every morning and night for the last like 2 weeks. Because when I'm at home, I just wear the same shirt so I don't have to wash a bunch of t-shirts. I'm going to change shirts before I go to work in about an hour. I'm actually not eating this for breakfast, salmon. I'm making my lunch for today. How is everyone? I have not checked in with my children in a while. I've just been exceedingly busy with writing. My screenwriting class is about to end, and then I have a few weeks off, but I'm going to be doing lots of writing during that period. And then I get the next screenwriting class. So it's like a series of, classes that we're like progressively adding um, more training, more skills as we go along in the classes. So it's like this class is focused on one particular skill, and next what is it, class is another. And then after that, assuming I go forward, I don't have to repeat, because they make a recommendation. Do they think, Angelo's proficient enough in this skill and has applied himself enough and is handsome enough to go on to the next class? There's a beauty pageant part of it. And they can recommend I go or give me a maybe recommendation. So it's like up to you, but we think it's something you should continue to work on, but maybe you're qualified to go in the next class. So that, and then just saying we think you should repeat the class. So there's one more class of the current sort of, it's hard to describe in abstract, but sort of the like semester I'm going through. And then we're really combining everything we've learned so far into writing. Instead of these little like mini tools of writing, we're writing whole sequences. And that's another class. And then eventually writing our own features or pilots if we choose. But I've been just so busy, and then work and exercise and trying to have a social life. I've cut out going to movies out. I loved going to movies out. I just realized, okay, it's a lot of money and time. I want to be conscientious about saving money and time. Hey, Drake, you're listening to Christmas music? Cool. I was thinking today I should make a separate video about this. I have a big regret in my life, and that's spending so much money on cars. Now, eventually, yeah, it was best. I needed to have a car to live in, but I spent so much money on cars for years where I didn't need one. I lived in Arlington, like 2 or 3 miles from my mom's house, and I would drive there a lot to make videos and go see her. Samsung, and did you get the UI 5 update yet? Maybe it did, I don't know. Probably did some update recently. But I was realizing, like, I was paying so much money just to drive a few miles, like 3 miles to my mom's house. I'm like, even if I kept my car and just got a bike too, I could have ridden that bike to my mom's house each time and save the money on gas. Now, granted, the bike costs money, so it's like, I'm not sure how much I would have saved. And living in Annandale, I don't know if I would have wanted a bike there because the streets were dangerous as far as the traffic patterns, just horribly designed, um, congested, intersections poorly designed, and you'd have stuff like, people crashing into um, the telephone poles where the power lines were, so the power would go out when that happened. Because, like, you'd have this on, what was the road? Back Lake Road, I guess. It's such a high speed road cutting through neighborhoods, and it's on a curve, and, it's like this big open road without many stop signs or anything. So it's like a city highway, and people, it just instinctively tells people go fast on it, and then they would lose control around a turn and hit a telephone pole. What's up, FOT fans? Yeah, been having headaches. Should see your mom on Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I did video call with her the other day from a friend's house. I was working on a video for a friend. When that comes out, I'll let you all know. It's going to be really good. And she loved it because his house is beautiful. His house, it almost feels like it's living. It's got all these plants in it, and there's gardens outside, and it's in the hills. It's just beautiful. That friend, Tom Cruise. No, it's not Tom Cruise, but I'll tell you all when the video comes out. It's going to be on someone else's channel. Alright, got my lunch ready. Got a healthy lunch of salmon, leafy greens, tomato, and red bell pepper. Now I'm going to make breakfast. I've already done a workout. I'm doing sort of a light leg workout this week. I need my legs to recover. I walk so much at work. I have to climb up ladders at work. And then, at the film archive, I have to walk and lift and stuff because I'm lifting film cans a lot of times, or I have to go up on a shelf that's up on the ceiling, by the ceiling. And I have to get on a ladder for it. And so last weekend when I rode my bike and took the metro to that friend's house whose video I was working on, I had a heavy backpack on, and I rode like 13 miles because going to his place, I took the metro and rode the last mile and a half, but coming home, I was like, I just want to ride my bike home. Well, first of all, the routes are not good for being on a bike at all. I should film it. It is so dangerous. I got to figure out a new way. But I rode like 11 miles home with a heavy backpack on. That pushed my legs so hard, and my legs have been recovering all week. They're not like sore, but I can feel they're fatigued. And so that means, okay, experiment. Modulate modulate my workouts so they're less intense on my legs, because they do need time to recover. And as Mike O'Hearn says, you can only train as well as you can recover. So I'm like, makes sense. I used to kill myself working out 7 days a week, barely saw any gains. My diet wasn't right. Also trying to sleep more, which it's a yes and no thing. Sometimes I do sleep well, sometimes not. Yeah, Drake, thanks. You like salmon on sushi? Oh, that sounds good. Alright, FOT fans, take it easy with the compliments about my appearance. I actually don't appreciate that, so got to be clear on that. I've been through enough stuff with people being weird about my appearance. But I just want to be clear, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for anyone to enjoy complimenting me or like I'm taking part in that. I'm not. That's all on you. So cut it out. I have my oatmeal. And Yeah, anyways, I was thinking, man, if only there was more of a bike culture where instead of growing up in a car culture, basically, I was born in a car racing club. No, just I mean like America in general, very car oriented, car centric. My dad was always struggling to get decent cars because he could never afford just a quality one. So we were always getting ones that had overheating problems or uh, needed work done, and plus he didn't always take the best care of them. One time when I don't know how old I was, 12 or something, 10. My mom, she went to Greece by herself, and she went for like a month or something. And so my dad, he had this like Econoline van, I guess, like a blue Ford Econoline van with like horrible interiors. And we rode that to the airport, I guess Dulles Airport, to drop my mom off. And then we were driving back on the highway, and the engine seized up. And we had to wait there for hours for a tow because there were no cell phones, or we didn't have cell phones. It was pretty early in, like it was like mid 90s. And tow truck driver came, towed us, me and my brothers and my dad. But what, whoever I remember hearing, a mechanic or something, found out is they said the engine was bone dry. There was no oil in it. My dad had not changed the oil in thousands of miles. So I'm like, that freaking, like, how? Oh shit, I don't want this for 32 minutes. For 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So I'm like, how can my dad be so irresponsible as like not think this? People don't need cars, like because they're not responsible with them. It gives them too much of a sense of power and entitlement. They're alienating. Ban all cars, Drake. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Ban all cars. Sounds extreme, but I think it gets across a good point that cars are not really safe. I'm not even literally saying ban them all. I'm saying if it turns out to be a good idea, sure. But like, I get people need cars for certain things, certain areas are not going to be built out for public transit, or you just need to haul heavy stuff. But in that case, why need to own a car? Why not have car shares and make it affordable and all that, and all the used car scams that are going on, and new cars are a scam. Is it really going to make a difference to have a brand new Kia or a brand new Hyundai or a brand new Ford or whatever, as opposed to last year's model or whatever? No, you're going to spend so much more. So I think not only ban all cars, ban advertising for cars. Because advertising, think about it, it's like cigarette smoking. Smoking went down when they banned advertising for it. I've read stuff like, being in LA, especially if you live near a busy street or a freeway where tens of thousands of vehicles pass like every day, you're like breathing the equivalent of like smoking 4 cigarettes. So why not? It's dangerous, it's alienating, it's deadly, gets people killed. Like, at least get people thinking about what are the other solutions. LA's, it looks like we're starting to trend slowly. It's like steering a giant ship in that direction with the new city council members that have been elected, like Eunices Hernandez and Hugo Soto Martinez, who are very much into transit justice, equity in transit, racial justice. As far as, transit often serves the poorest people, people who've been discriminated against, like black and brown people who have a hard time finding jobs or jobs in certain areas, and they need the mobility. And they shouldn't have to be saddled with the debt to buy a car. Yeah, my dad didn't take care of his car. Yep, walking and biking much healthier, and FOT fans is in Spain. In Spain, you have high-speed rail, am I correct? And you have a much better public transit system. And I would think a lot of streets, because Spain is a much older country than America, are smaller than American streets. So they're not as like car friendly. They weren't built with cars in mind. I don't know like totally, but a little just talking, vaguely what I've learned, or broad strokes of what I've learned about some other countries, and also it was just my experience in Greece, where the streets were often very small because they were built there a long time ago. That's right, we voted to pass a flavor cigarette and vape ban in California. Why not? Anyways, I appreciate you guys raising your voices. This is where it happens, where positive improvements happen, is people talking to each other, learning from each other, learning we have common problems, we have common, knowledge to share. Like, I mean, things in common, not like common sense, but like we have the same problems, the same dreams in many ways. We want to live in this protein powder bottle. We want to live in, healthy, safe, human-friendly neighborhoods, not car-friendly neighborhoods where it's so fucking noisy. Oh shit, I forgot to turn the scale on so I can measure out 79 grams of protein powder. I'll get it right. I'll get it close. That's pretty good. Pretty close. Flaxseed. Freaking destroyed the toilet the other night. Oh my goodness. I had to plunge it. And life's got us worn down. We're constantly in debt. You gotta finance everything. You gotta finance your car. Card perpetually keeps you in debt. Gotta keep being able to work so you can pay for your car maintenance, and you gotta be able to pay for your car maintenance to get to work. So essentially, you're living for your debt. Why can't we just do better than that? So yeah, public transit, not only have more transit available, but now a lot more people are trying to get free public transit, or at least free, like at the point of service, no fares. And the fares, because they're just they're mostly there not to fund the metro. That's a small part of metro's funding. A lot of it comes from other sources like taxes, which there'd be more of if more people could get to work on the metro instead of having to be stuck in their neighborhood trying to get work, or I don't know what else, or not having work, or having to rely on like only certain ways of getting to work, like carpooling. If they don't have a car, they can't afford a car, they can't get to a job interview. But a lot of the metro fares go towards paying for the ticketing infrastructure. You need the whole system built out that, issues fares, monitors fares, keeps track of fares, and for police salaries who are there to enforce fare evasion, who ticket people and arrest people who don't pay for fares. And they do that largely against black and brown people. But I'm sure they're not doing the majority of that. So it's racist, it's classist, it affects poor people the most, and it's a way of trying to have someone to be angry at. Look at the fare evaders, why don't they pay the fare? While not looking for actual solutions. Like, well, what if there wasn't a fare? I mean, if they get a job, their employer will be paying taxes, they'll be paying taxes, that's more taxes that can go into investing in the metro system and make it free. And you get people who get more mobility, who can afford to get around, who can go see their friends and what little free time they have. For a lot of people, Remember this phrase, the cruelty is the point. It's not, they're not interested in how do we help people, it's how do we have a whole class of people in this country that we look down upon. And for them, that's the point. That's actually a goal for them. I'm going to turn on the light here in a second. My light's on in the corner. My mannequins to keep me company. It's too cold to eat outside, at least dressed how I am. I decided maybe do this instead of watching videos while I eat breakfast. It wears out my phone. If I'm going to wear out my phone, I'll do it doing this, live streaming, actually doing something. I watch good videos. I've been watching a lot of The Cavernacle lately. He's kind of a progressive YouTuber who knows a lot about history, and he's British, but he focuses a lot on American issues, American politics, pop culture. And he kind of breaks down and makes fun of, but breaks down a lot of the, more chauvinistic and conservative and ignorant and prejudiced views that are expressed and popular sentiments that he wants to debunk, and also entertains people. And anyways, he's been good to watch, but I'm like, I gotta limit when I watch stuff and how, and make the most use of my time, because if I'm struggling for time, I'm not going to get more time, so how do I rearrange it? I figure I haven't made a live stream in a while, do this. A little too watery. I put a little too much water in this. Oh well, it's good. Click like, everyone, helps the video out. Yep. Again, homeless thing, huge issue, obviously. I was homeless for a while. I never had to sleep like on the street. I was always sleeping in my car. But there's some movement that's starting to tip in the direction of get people housed. The housing first policy of basically get them housed, then get them services and health care and treatment. For it's so traumatizing being on the street, and get them, if they need some kind of rehabilitation, job training, get them all that. But you cannot do that without housing first. You can't give people medical treatment and send them back out onto the street for their illnesses to, excuse me, to make them deteriorate, for their illnesses to be. For their, if they go back on the street, the conditions they have and their illnesses are likely to get worse in many cases, because they cannot adequately care for themselves while on the street. It helps to have a home. So get them housed first. And starting to get some sense in this country, like starting to go a little bit in that direction. But there's a lot of money from landlords coming in, often from out of LA, that goes to politicians like Mitch O'Farrell, who's getting the boot now that Hugo Soto Martinez is poised to beat that milquetoast, bland, tepid. Oh well, we can't add new bike lanes unless everybody agrees to it, and we got to make sure that they're not just going to come out once they're put in. And he hasn't put in any bike lanes in 9 years. He's not even trying to lift his voice to do that. I'm getting all choked up. wanted to wait till my roommate got through, but I'm eating steel cut oatmeal. I get the cheap store brand kind for like $3. Not paying like $9 or $11 for Irish steel cut oatmeal. Put some hot sauce in oatmeal? That sounds interesting. I've been reading the complete Sherlock Holmes lately. It starts with a study in Scarlet. It's amazing. I love it. I'm like, I can't wait to read this whole book. It's like a bunch of Sherlock Holmes stories. It's like 500 or 600 pages. I found it on this cart outside a bookstore around here where they would just have like $3 books. And I just looked through there when I'd walk by because it's in, excuse me. Okay. Anyways, I saw that. I'm like, why not get this? $3. Whatever. Went in and bought it. I'm so glad I did. It's so good. Sherlock Holmes books are so funny and interesting and surprising. And I'm learning storytelling as I read them. Also, I put pecans and blueberries. I measure out how much, 11 grams of pecans, 22 grams of blueberries to stay within my health limits, my diet limits. But anyways, like what I was saying, it's great to have people talking about these issues. Homelessness, the metro, in a way that's empowering. Not the hate speech, not the hate discussions about, all the hateful stereotypes I don't need to get into, but there are large forums for that online. It's like when you talk to people about it, you're connecting, you're motivating other people to speak up about it even more. And when more people speak about it to each other, we realize, oh, we have so much in common. There's so many of us who just want to do something empowering and uplifting that helps people, that makes life better, that makes the environment better, that makes air cleaner, that makes the streets safer to walk on, that makes for less pedestrian and cyclist deaths, that makes for less traffic deaths overall, and injuries and hospitalizations by getting people onto the metro and buses. But the metro and buses have to be, reliable, consistent, safe, clean. They have to be available 24 hours, all that stuff. What good is it to take a bus out somewhere and, you go there, but then you're stranded if you have to leave after the bus stops running? Breakfast Street, Mark Ivy, yeah. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't live streamed in a while. I've been so busy. This is the only time I can do it. I used to watch videos. Hey, Mark, you may like this channel, The Cavernacle with a K. He's a British YouTuber who often examines American politics and pop culture with like a progressive bent, and he's very knowledgeable about history. He's very informative and also entertaining. Been watching him a lot while I eat breakfast, but I'm like, my phone, the YouTube app is starting to lock up sometimes. I know that means my phone may be approaching the end of its life. I'm like, great, it's like $1,000 phone. I haven't even paid it all off. I'm like, I'm going to stop watching videos while I eat, try and only watch videos on my laptop. And if I'm going to do anything on my phone while I eat, I'm going to live stream at least, get some value out of it. Thank you, Mark. There you go. Mark gave me a donation of €1. Man, thanks so much, Mark. What season is it here? It is, how do I say fall in Spanish? Otoño? It's autumn. Mark, I'm trying to get America to be more like Germany in regards to its transportation system. Germany has a built-out train network, right? Rail network. Also, their roads are paved even better than here. That's what I learned. They pave it with higher quality concrete, and here it's done more cheaply. And so as a result, we have to like repave the roads every year. Otoño, not otorno. Okay, got it. Otoño. Yeah, it's fall here or autumn. Gotta keep working on my Spanish. I should have been mayor of LA. Hey, thank you, but no, I would never want that job. I'm sure it would destroy me. My current job is stressful enough, the politics of it. It's not the work itself, the politics. That's what being at a corporation is, especially with people who are not, don't have the mental acuity and the discipline and self-reflection. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that's necessary to like be accountable to yourself and others. Man, I've seen so much behavior at my job now. I'm like, this is destroying my soul in a lot of ways. Nice, Mark. Got the flu vaccine. Good. That reminds me, I gotta get it too. I can't believe I haven't thought about that. The last thing I want is to be sick with the flu. I'm gonna do that maybe today. Go up to CVS, see if my worthless Aetna health insurance will get me a free flu shot. But Mark, we were talking about public transportation here in LA. There, hot chocolate. I don't drink it because too much sugar. Um, so Mark, the Metro board here, there, a lot of talks about do they increase fares, do they make it fare free or whatever. And I'm saying let's end the fares. The fares go to pay the salaries in large part of cops who enforce fares. It makes no sense. We're just paying to punish ourselves, but of course not really all of ourselves, because the cops largely do it, ticket and arrest people for fare evasion who are black and brown. So it's not about safety, it's about anger and ignorance, and it's also, it makes it very expensive if you're poor. If you only make $15,000, $20,000 a year to get to work every day or to look for jobs on the metro, it's hard. So, and also it just pays for the ticketing infrastructure. So it's like end the fares, make it free for everyone, let people get around to where they want to go. It would be amazing. It would make it safer. You wouldn't have cops, citing people for fare evasion. It would be safer because more people can get on, and when you have more people there, it creates like a safety effect of there's more visibility, more eyes. You're not alone. You're not as likely to be preyed upon if someone whatever gets mad at you, whatever. Because with a crowd there, it creates an effect of like you're going to be more accountable for what you do. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's a lot better, and we're getting in that direction of like more transit and stuff in LA. We need it because what are we going to do? Build out more lanes of the freeways? It's ridiculous. We're poisoning ourselves with it. I like this Korean coffee, Maxim coffee, because it's not too strong or anything. Yeah, a lot of coffees are too bitter, too strong for me. But Maxim coffee, I guess you could say it's very mild. I don't know, but fine for me. German public transport is good depending where you are. City's good, countryside is limited. Germans pay more taxes for it. Try selling that in the U.S. Mark, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. People will pay out the ass for a car, $13,000 a year, $15,000, whatever, constantly in debt for a new car that if they got one 3 years old, 5 years old, they'd pay so much less, and it would probably be about as reliable. But they want that new car, they want it financed, but they don't want to pay taxes. No, I'll pay $15,000 a year for this huge object I have to store on the street. Isn't that weird? You store your own private property on the street with your car in a lot of places in LA. But oh no, no, don't raise our taxes $2 as homeowners. Don't raise our taxes at all. Can't have transit good for everybody. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Can't do that. Well, we are doing that. And plus, it makes it much better for drivers if more people get onto transit. There's less cars on the road. Cars exponentially add more delays. When you get, the 10th car in a lane, the 20th car, each higher number adds more and more delays, more backups, more stalls at intersections. I mean, like people being stuck at intersections they can't pass. Click like, everyone, helps the video out. I'm always trying to do more videos. I'm trying to figure out when I can do it. I guess this is the only time I can. Yeah, green tea is great for you. And I suppose chai tea as well. I drink tea every day. I drink dandelion tea too. I heard that's really healthy for you. I don't know how true that is, but I'm like, why not? I'll try anything. I drink a lot of mainly black tea and green tea. But yeah, corporation sucking my soul out of me. I get so stressed. When I sleep long, I have nightmares about what I go through there. I can't talk about it really specifically, but so people, what can I say? Like without just sounding like, I'm complaining or broken record or whatever. Maybe I used to be not as good of a coworker too before. I always think I was a pretty good coworker because, I worked really hard and was disciplined. Although when I worked some places like the bank, it's like I was trying to get out of there as much as I could. But it amazes me now with and I get it's just different experience in life, where you are in life, like with the discipline I have now, and what I learned while homeless about helping myself and making sure I'm doing the things I need to. Just how many blind spots people have about that stuff, and I have them too. I don't always know what I should and shouldn't do or can or can't do, but nothing like what I've gone through at my job, where people they're acting out their own problems and their own patterns they're trying to fix on others. And because it's a corporation, everything is so veiled and hidden and secretive. Oh, I'm not veiling that. I just had a fart. Hello. Wait, what did Mark say? I'm driving a 2004 Opel Corsa. Good man, you're driving an old car. 60 horsepower engine? Damn, that's a small engine. But see, for America, we consider that small. We shouldn't. Has 151,000 kilometers on it. Just got new street inspection, best gas sipping car. That's what I was going to say. I bet it gets really good gas mileage. How do you say that in Spanish? Like gas? Or no. How do you say that with kilometer mileage? Or no. Wait. How do you say that with gas kilometerage? Like, do you say Like instead of gas mileage, how do you say it with kilometers in the metric system? That's another thing. America, why don't we switch to metric? Come on. Come on. Come on. Jeez. Do we have to do everything backwards? The imperial system. What a name. How many inches is a foot? 10 inches? No, 12. How many feet in a mile? 5,000? No, 5,268 or whatever it is. What's the freezing temperature? 0 degrees? No, it's 32. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go in a second. Gotta finish my routine. Banning gas cars isn't gonna happen for another 10 years. Yeah, and even that, it's like electric cars. Those are pretty bad in a lot of ways too. Yeah, they do. You save gas and when you're driving, but what happens also when you need to replace the battery? The battery has a limited life, and they are improving battery life. So I'm not putting it all down. I'm just saying electric cars only are only going to be one small part of uh, preventing climate disaster, which we're already basically in, but of you know of changing our energy needs so that we're not just dependent on fossil fuels. Anyways, I really have to go. I got to take a dump. But that's great to hear, Mark. And also everybody keep talking with people you know about transit justice, about racial justice, about climate justice, all this stuff. Get people pumped and motivated. You're all doing it now, Just talking to people gets me pumped and motivated. Anyways, I got to blast off on the toilet. So nothing in Spanish. No, I want to know how to say stay sane, y'all. That's a good advice. I wanted to say how to say instead of gas mileage, gas kilometerage or whatever. But anyways, I gotta go. That's great advice for everyone. Mark said it best. Stay sane, everyone.